All right. Okay. So, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining today's webinar. Digitize your manufacturing facility with edge control and computing technology. And today we will be talking about successful cases about how we helped our customers connect and digitize their plant and machineries to their cloud or a database and their personal mobile devices for an optimized operation. Okay, so before we get started, in case there are still some of you in this event still new to Bay Electronics, let me have a quick introduction of our organization. Okay, Bay Electronics, it's a business entity under a holding group called Bay Electronics Group. And Bay Electronics is a company that started as an HMI maker 40 years ago. But with many years of expertise, now we have become a company that is able to provide digitized and connected solutions to automation, IoT, maritime, connected factories and automations, and smart infrastructure applications, etc. Okay, and Vestimo is a business unit who are focused on mission critical applications, for example, communication-based train control systems, maritime networking, and smart grid applications. As for Korenix, it's a business entity focused on the general industrial grade networking solutions for factory automations, smart cities, surveillance, and industrial IoTs. Okay. Okay, before we talk about any solution today, I would like you to imagine a scenario. Okay. On the way to work, there's a plant manager open a notification sent from a cloud-based analytic system on his mobile phone. Okay, and this cloud-based analytic system tells him that today there is a suggested temperature for today's yield to be increased by 7% over yesterday's yield. And the plant manager clicked the machine's mobile operator interface on his mobile phone over a secure channel and found the machine's temperature set point, entered the recommended value. Okay. And his job is done even before entering the plant. Right? Sounds good, isn't it? But how are we going to make this happen? Excuse me, give me a minute. Okay, I don't know what happened to the previous page, so I will just skip it and we will start from this page. Okay, so actually the answer is the edge computing connectivity. Okay, so let me tell you a story before we talked about anything about edge. Okay, so at the first, electronic devices produced for IT and OT usage does not have any kind of connectivity to each other. Okay, and in fact, in the beginning, the devices, the IT devices, cannot talk to each other either. So, for example, you cannot even connect a computer made by IBM to a monitor made by Panasonic. So not to mention connecting the I/O or the sensors to the ERP systems. But with technology evolved, we found a way to connect the systems of an enterprise, though not directly. We are now familiar with the 5-layer structure that connects things from I/O, PLC, SCADA, MES to ERP system. Okay. However, if your production facility does not have the ability or expertise to invest and maintain so many complex systems, especially the IT ones, is there a simple and affordable way to integrate and analyze your data? Okay, So the idea of edge is then utilized to bypass the traditional 5-layer stack. And an edge is a platform that provides an interface for your production sites. The data from the production site to be connected to a cloud-based system or an on-premise IT system directly, okay? Without interfering the existing control system program at the production site or the infrastructure of your IT system. Okay, that's what Edge is supposed to do. Okay, and the Edge needs to tackle several key challenges, including machines manufactured by different vendors with different control system brands inside them. And they may speak different protocols. For example, could be Mitsubishi's, Siemens, Allen Bradley's, or simply field buses like CAN bus, Modbus, or Profibus. Okay. Okay, I was told that we are having a bad communication, so give us a minute. We will move somewhere with a better and networking communication. Thank you. 这里非常不好。对，不要去碰它，让它自己。等一下啊，是谁说想不好？我们听见。哦，OK。关什么？没开吗？我开了，我开了。Hello，听得到吗？ Okay. All right. Excuse me. Where were we? Okay, we have talked about the challenges to be tackled. So first of all, there might be quite a lot of different brand of machineries with different kinds of control systems inside. Could be Mitsubishi's, Siemens, Allen Bradley, or they run on field buses like CAN bus, Modbus, or Profibus. Okay, and once you configure an edge device to collect data from the machineries, you'll need to use standards that can be recognized by your database or cloud. Okay. And while doing this, you'll certainly want this edge device to have zero or as little impact to your operation as possible to avoid any possible downtime. And when your data is transmitted to the cloud, you'll hope that it is through a secured channel through the internet, so no one can hack into your system and shut down your production. Okay. And as your automation or your IT engineer may have different kinds of technology background, the developing tool of these kind of edge devices must contain a user interface that are familiar for both of them. All right. And Bay Electronics solution has all the features covered. So let's have a look at our worldwide successful cases. Okay, the first one is about a machine maker's next generation machine and their new business model. The machine maker used our Express Edge controller to build a new machine with internet connectivity. And for some customers, they no longer sell machineries to them, and instead they charge the customers based on monthly usage of the machine. The machine located at the customer site records the data and then send the data back to the machine maker's cloud-based backend, and they will bill the customers accordingly. And for customers, this new business model saves them quite a lot of capex of investing in new machinery, and the maintenance costs be incurred thereafter. Our Edge controller next to Express plays a critical role in this case. It is equipped with sufficient I/O interfaces to connect sensors and field devices and unite them with Modbus, CAN bus, and Ethernet over IP. The field data connected to the Edge controller can be further published to the machine maker's cloud through MQTT with TLS 1.2 encryption, or the customer's on-premise SQL server and SCADA systems using SQL commands or OPC UA server. And the internet connection is built with our 4G router with management in credentials for cybersecurity. And when not at the site, the operators can always use a web-based interface to log into the machine to operate. So this is basically the scenario we have talked about at the beginning of the webinar, and it can be done with our Edge controller and our industrial-grade 4G router. Okay, and second case, it's about the application of the warehouse, and as there are more and more business owners starting to implement AGVs or AMRs to improve efficiency on logistics and inventory, so the operators can really focus on what they are hired for. The Edge controller here links the controls, the crucial components of the controls of the AGV, including the RFID, safety sensors, motion drives, etc. The AGV communication communicates with the central fleet management system without the need to install an extra protocol gateway, because the Edge controller itself is a gateway. And our industrial-grade JetWave Wi-Fi routers are installed on the AGV and around the warehouse to ensure stable connection in harsh industrial operating environments. Okay. And finally, our managed PoE Ethernet switch will be in charge of the power supply to the Wi-Fi APs, and the cyber security and the network flow, as the owner needs to update HEV's route code accordingly and remotely based on the operating requirements. Okay, and the next case, it's actually one case that I was personally involved in, and it's OEM manufacturer and their IT team approached us for a project that they wish to connect their legacy machineries to their SQL servers directly. And because they wanted to get rid of the paperwork for good, and for any single work order, it'll always take them around 40 to 50 pages, and it is hard to get insights from non-digitized data, and it is also hard to track the production records if anything goes wrong. And the legacy machine was running on Mitsubishi's FX3U PLC, and we offered them our iX edge computing software with our X2-based series economical type HMI for a non-invasive connection to accomplish their mission. And our software iX has more than hundreds of built-in PLC communication protocols. So connecting their PLCs is not a problem to us at all. And after collecting the data from the PLC, the IT can really focus on what they're good at. So they used our built-in SQL database in the edge computing software to map the data inside it to their SQL server with the help of a proxy program installed on their server side. So eliminating the cost of another middleware. And we also support the feature of generating 100% customized Excel reports. So their management level can always focus on the information they need to know instead of seeing all the raw data on the Excel sheets. And the PM really appreciated our solution because we saved them quite a lot of time trying to unifying the interface between the OT and the production line. Okay, so the last case is about connecting machine to IT system, and the next case we will look at it's about the connection among the machineries. And on the production line, they are often equipped with machines that comes from different vendors. So it will be helpful to your production efficiency if the machines that talks in different kind of languages can communicate with each other, and it will improve the workflow. So the production does not have to idle just to wait for something to arrive before it starts to work or stuck at a certain stage. And when a defect happens, it's also easier to track when and where the defect takes place. Okay. Our advantage in this kind of application is that you only need to use one hardware and one software package, which is the Box2 series and the iX software that you can deal with all these protocol conversion. And just like our HMI product family, Box2 also has the ability to interface with the IT systems. Okay, and some customers questioned us about what's the difference between the Box2 and the conventional field bus gateway. Okay, so our competitiveness over them is that field buses only converts a very limited number of protocols, and people will need to change their PLC program and to create the variables for the extra field bus gateways so that the PLC can recognize these kind of conventional field bus gateways. Okay. And most people would prefer not to change their PLC program because they are worried about if the downtime is caused because of the change of the PLC program, they will lose a lot of time and money. So our solution is that we are a non-invasive connection to the both the production line and the IT system. Okay. Right. And besides collecting the production data, and the utility and energy management also plays a crucial role in the manufacturing business. And if you can monitor the energy consumption status of your, for example, chiller plants, heat pumps, boilers, etc., and management accordingly, it could save you remarkable operating expense. Or you can actually also combine the energy management system to the energy storage devices. Okay, and as we know, in order to enhance the grid resiliency, it is not common for governments to get manufacturers compensated if they cooperate on the peak shaving and the load shifting activities and to lower the contract capacity. Okay, so you could probably sell some extra power that you stored at your site back to the grid at the peak hours to earn some extra money. Okay, and actually, we believe this kind of application is a good way to start investing on IoT and edge control solution, as the savings could be sizable. And it is easier to show the owners what they are paying for. So if your boss or your customer's boss are still hesitant about implementing new technologies, you can talk to them about the energy saving applications. Okay, and we have talked about different kinds of applications, and now you know how our products can be an important part of tackling the challenges of your connectivity solutions. And we will be introducing some highlighted product hardwares in the following session. Okay. The first one is the Nextel Express Edge Controller. Okay. It has abundant I/O interfaces and with a number of standardized field buses like Modbus TCP, Modbus RTU, Ethernet over IP, and OPC UA. Okay, and once you get all the sensors and field devices integrate to this edge controller, you can publish the data to the cloud with MQTT, or insert the data to the SQL server directly with SQL commands. Okay, and also use the OPC UA server to output the data to your existing SCADA system. So it's quite flexible. Okay, and okay, the powerful features is actually powered by open source control platform called Codisys. Okay, and it is a leading hardware independent system that complies to IEC 61131-1 standards. And it has all the common languages that you are familiar with, for example, a ladder, structured text, function block, CFC, etc., integrated in this kind of platform. Okay, and you will be able to see it in all kinds of control devices. Could be a programmable I/O, POC, DCS, or even PC-based controls. Okay, and if you have experiences with control systems like Schneider, ABB, Beckhoff, Wago, Eaton, or some models of Mitsubishi and Delta, you are probably already familiar with Codisys and you just didn't know it yet. Okay, and the advantage of investing in the Codisys platform is that you will always be able to switch to different kind of hardware without any problem, because you can always reuse the trainings and the know-hows you have programmed on this open platform. Okay, and as I have mentioned in the previous presentation slides, an important feature of edge control and computing solution is that it has to include the tools that are familiar by both the automation engineers and IT engineers. Okay, so for example, I believe most of people here, if you have electrical control background, you must be very familiar with the ladder language. And as for me, I study C language and, for example, MATLAB language when I was in high school and university. So structured text is a language that is makes much more sense to me than the latter. So when engineering an edge computing and control project, you can always tell the automation engineers to use a ladder language to connect the interlocks, and tell the IT engineers to use all these variables to make computing and if-else loops, and to program a totally customized edge computing solution for your own company. Okay. Okay, and the next one we are going to introduce is the X2 base V2 and V2 HP products. Okay, and it is actually the next generation of our economical type HMI called X2 base. So to differentiate it, we made an extra variant name V2 after the original product family name X2 base. Okay. So it's economical type HMI with full edge computing functionality, and it is designed for the cost-driven applications for small to medium-sized. Okay, so it comes with 5-inch, 7-inch, and 10 inches in the standardized X2 base V2 version, and comes in 7-inch, 10-inch, and the 15-inch in the high-performance version. Okay. Okay, so they both are equipped with abundant communication interfaces as well, and especially the X2 base V2 HP model. As you can see from this page, it is equipped with at least 3 serial COM ports and 2 USB ports. Okay, and these 2 USB ports is actually FTDI supported. So if you need to extend your communication interfaces, you can always source a converter with FTDI chips inside it, and plug it to the X2 base V2 HP hardware, and then you will have more than 3 serial COM ports. And equipped with 2 Ethernet ports as a standard, so you can use one Ethernet port to connect to networking-based PLCs, and use another port to output the data to SCADA or higher level of data acquisition entities. So it's basically a monster, and I'm personally also quite excited to see this new product line being released. Okay. Okay, and the next one is the Box 2 series. Okay, it is designed for you to finish end-to-end communication with just a few clicks. Okay, so I even take a screenshot of programming the Box 2 series. You only need to identify the I/O tags you want to transfer. Okay, and enable the data exchange features, and select the data transfer direction of the I/O tag, and everything is done. Okay, without the need to change or modify your PLC program. Okay, and we have visualization features added to the Box 2, which is the VNC server and web server, because we believe that you will always wanted to see how your data flows, and want to check if the communication is stable through your mobile devices while programming with the Box 2. Okay, so this is a great benefit for the integrators. So they can always have a view of their data connection, and to start up the engineering service accordingly. Okay. Yeah. All right, and that's pretty much everything I have to present for the edge control and computing solution of Electronics. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. And feel free to contact me for more discussions about the solutions or perhaps your project on hand. And we will see you in next webinar, and take care. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.